Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston, and today I'm back for episode number 35 of my Pittsburgh Pirates franchise series here on MLB 17, this show. So today we are back with the offseason after year number 3, our World Series championship over the Baltimore Orioles. We defeated them in 6 games, a 5-4 victory in Game 6, extra innings. Starling Marte had the walk-off, and so we advanced to the offseason as World Series champions. First base coach and third base coach are open spots on the coaching staff. Qualifying offer is $18.5 million, and we have some retirements, most notably Jose Bautista, the man we signed in the late. See, he actually had 11 home runs. Wow, he hit really well for us. Only 91 ABs, but 11 home runs, and he retires on that note as a World Series champion. So pretty cool. I don't really know if he certainly didn't have any big moments in the postseason when I was playing the games, but during the simulation it's certainly possible. Luis Barrios, 22-year-old. This guy is, yeah, I'm not really too worried about any of these guys. I guess we can look around the league. No Hall of Fame inductees. And so here we go. Let's take a look at the managed contract screen. So we have Starling Marte and Garrett Cole both as pending free agents. DeGrom, 1 year of team control left. Sanchez has 3 years of team control left. Thames is arbitration eligible. He has 2 years. Those are pretty much the big names. So the big two guys, obviously Cole and Marte, and I think I would prioritize getting Marte back over Cole. I mean, Marte, you know, he is kind of underwhelming as an offensive player, but he does run the bases well in his defense in center field. And when you combine all of those things, I just look at his production over the last few years as very consistent, and the fact that it is tough to find a center fielder. I guess we could theoretically try Polanco in center field since he's a good defensive player, but I like our outfield defense as it is, so I kind of would prioritize him over Garrett Cole. Cole is, you know, he obviously had a really good year the first year with us, although we weren't really in contention. This year he was okay, solid, but nothing spectacular. 4-win pitcher. You see he was 5.8 in 2017. And Marte also looking for a lot less money. The thing is, we might have the money to get them both, honestly. I mean, it seems like we have lots of cash flow in bank. I don't know how to read the like the money in this game anymore, because see, like the before and after, I guess. So we have payroll, cash flow. I don't understand how the cash flow only goes down like 500,000. Unless, like, I'm just completely reading it wrong. I must be reading it wrong. I don't understand. But I'm giving him 13.6 million a year. But I guess cash flow must be the money in hand. So maybe you get money as the season goes on. I don't really understand how that works, but it seems like we can afford both of these guys, to be honest. The question is, do we just want to make moves around the roster? I mean, we have spots that theoretically you might want to improve, you know, like the infield or right field, but we're probably good with just, you know, going forward with Austin Meadows and Diego Vina. I know Meadows didn't have impressive numbers this year, but I like his skill set. You know, he's another guy who is a good fielder. He can run the bases a little bit, and he can do some things with the bat. So, you know, a guy who could play center field if we did let Marte go, but I'm happy to play him in right field if we do re-sign Starling Marte. But the infield is really, you know, where we've had kind of a rotation over the last few years. I mean, Dozier didn't fill in spectacularly. He's a guy we could shop around, but he doesn't make a ton of money. Really, I think I'd only move him if money became tight. He'd kind of be the fall guy. But Vina, his numbers weren't impressive, but his attributes have gone up a ton. He's an 87 overall now. So even though his natural position is not really third base, is it even a secondary position for him? I mean, we can definitely make it one for him. I didn't even realize. But we also have Oliver Wilson too. Wilson was playing a lot in the playoffs, so I guess, you know, our rotation of guys there. I mean, there's really not much we have to do to this roster. I guess you look at the rotation. We bring Cole back, and we have Liriano still. That 5th starter spot, both of these guys are free agents, I believe, so that's really where we're going to have to make a decision, I suppose, if we bring Cole back. If not, we would have to kind of reshape the rotation. I mean, the contract Cole is looking for is pretty absurd. Like $27.2 million a year. But I think we have the money to do that, is the thing. Marte's 31, so let's do 5 years or 4 years, and we'll give him $56 million. And Garrett Cole, he's 91. He's 91 overall. He's only 29 years old. Does feel like it's worth paying, but I might let this go to the market and just see what the market is for starters out there. And I could lock up DeGrom right now for a decent price. And he's been more consistent than Cole has been. He's a little bit older though, 31 years old, but I could get him for 4 years. Probably 4 years 70 maybe. If I did 1 year, it would still be, it'd only be 6.8, but we have lots of money to spend this year. I like that move, just locking up DeGrom right now. And then that's definitely insurance for if Cole leaves, because it's a little bit, you know, we still have Tanaka, and we have Liriano, who could step in as a number 3, but might be better slotted as a number 4 potentially. We're going to offer DeGrom 4 years, 70 to be the 8. Well, I probably shouldn't have offered him. I don't know if he's going to get mad if he's like doesn't pitch opening day or something like that. If he wants to be the ace, I guess we'll just let him be the ace if he really wants to be. I don't know if that's really going to matter if he's like the number 2 starter, just because we have so many good starters. Sanchez, I don't really feel the need. Like, I don't need to pay him 11 million next year, so we could do 3 at 6.3, or let's do 2 years, because I kind of like that DeGrom, like locking up the guy a year early. If you have money, if you have the extra money to do it, seems like a good idea. So let's do 2 years for Sanchez at 6.3, because he has 3 years of team control left, and Thames probably do 1 year, 3 million. He's been a productive hitter both years. We've got him, very good hitter. I wish they had like WRC plus in this game, because the thing about all these stats is they don't have any stats that compare to the league average. They have runs created, but they don't have like the average runs created. That's why those stats like OPS plus and WRC plus are so useful. Look at, oh man, this year he was the first year we got him, he was a beast though. Almost more walks than strikeouts. Last year, a little bit of a dive. Could, you know, theoretically would be a trade candidate. He is 33, and first base is a replaceable spot, but I like using Thames. I'm very good with him in game, so. Watson is also a free agent, or yeah, we should tender the qualifying offer to Cole. And we could theoretically do it with Watson, although he's definitely not looking for that much per year. He's 34 years old. The rating's theoretically going down, but not looking for a lot of money. Let's do, or maybe club option for that second year. 2 years, 7.5. And then Feliz, another guy who had a good year for us, and another guy not looking for a ton of money, but maybe we let him go to market since he's right-handed. The overall is a little bit lower as well. Liriano, I'm just going to renew for as cheap as possible, pretty much. I'll give him at least a major league contract. Won't go that cheap. We'll do 520,000. Ivan Nova. So we're probably going to let Nova and Tomlin go to market and see what is out there for pitchers. Oliver Wilson will give 500,000. Glenn Perkins, probably going to let go to market. He was good for us again. He's pretty much good for us ever since we got him. Although I never really used him in high leverage spots. At least not this year. A little bit more last year because we didn't have Watson. So Perkins was one of our better lefties. But this year we had Watson, so we didn't have to use him so much. Thompson, I don't really need back. I never used him. Cliff Hinson, I'd like to get back. He's solid pitching depth. If I can get him on a minor league contract, I can't. Give him 480. He hasn't. I don't think I called him up. I guess I did call him up at one point this year, so he would need the major league deal. Addison Reed, another depth guy I traded for. I'll let go to market. Mitch Keller, bring back of course. Miguel Torres, who will probably get some, some spot starts in right field with Meadows next year. Give him 500,000. Troy Hendrick, bring back. He's good infield depth. Charlie Morton, no thanks. Connor Gillespie, he's solid infield depth. Not looking for a ton of money. We'll look at a market at the very least. I probably won't offer him arbitration. Alright, and the rest of our signees were minor league free agents, so we will now take a look at the coaches. We need a first and a third base coach, and pretty much just have to go off of the attributes boost, and also don't want to have to overpay like Dave Roberts would be. He would probably cost too much as a first base coach, and I could just get, the ratings won't be as good, but it's not as important. I can get maybe Juan Davis, this guy. We'll do this guy, Reggie Billings. He helps defense, and oh yeah, he's not looking for really any money. Could we do 4 years, please? 4 years, 4 million? Yes. Alright, only 39 years old, and third base coach. And how about this guy for third base coach? He increases +3 speed, +3 stealing. I like that. He will cost us a little bit of money, but that is okay. We'll offer him 3.8. And let's see about all these offers. So pretty much just skip ahead a couple days and see who doesn't sign rather than even bother. Richie Fairley does not sign with us. That's okay though. We got the other guy. We got the cheap guy, which is the main guy I wanted. Let's take care of this first. How about this guy, Mccallum? I really don't understand what the blocking stat is in this game, the blocking attribute. I wonder, is that just like for catchers, blocking pass balls or wild pitches and whatnot? Or honestly, I don't know. Marte still has not accepted our offer. So we just go 5 years. Let's do 5 for 70. Give him the money he wants. He's more than worth that, I believe. The real question is Cole. Cole still... Like, what I would reasonably offer him... I still have a lot of money even if I pay him 27.2. And you look at who we have. Tanaka's a free agent after next year. He will be 32. It's really a question of, like, who would you rather pay money to long-term, Cole or Tanaka? Because I feel like only one of these guys is reasonably going to be re-signed. And Tanaka definitely had the better year last year, but if you pay Cole this year, you get both of them next year. And then, you know, sort of the timing of it, it would make more sense to pay Cole right now if you have the money to. So it's kind of a convincing case, honestly. He's 29. What if we did 6 years at 27 mil? Would that be 162, I guess? To also be the ace. Or we could do 5 with the player option. If, yeah, 5 with the player option. Why not? Alright, so we'll see if that works out. Advance one more day. So they both go to free agency. Other free agents, Jose Altuve, Justin Turner. Wow, a couple really good infielders. And Turner was actually not even qualified. He didn't get the qualifying offer. So he would be, wow, he would be a beast at third base. Now Altuve, I mean, if we didn't get Cole, we could trade Dozier or something and bring Altuve. I mean, there are ways to replace Cole on this team. Certainly, I think. I mean, you look at, you know, you could trade Dozier for a pitcher and then bring in Altuve or Turner. Turner is 35, but his ratings are still really good, and he's not looking for, like, any money. And this would allow us to move Vigna back to his natural position at second base, which would be ideal. So this feels like a no-brainer to give Turner, like, we can't do an option. Oh yeah, we can do club option, 2 years, do 25. And he'll be every day. I mean, he's not, I guess, be a star. Whatever. He's 92 overall. Still has really good. Look at that contact versus right. I mean, that plays, no doubt. And he's still a good fielder. So, let's do that. And right now, Altuve has no offers made to him. So, I suppose we just skip forward a day. I mean, that would be... Then, at that point, you're looking at maybe even packaging Vigna and Dozier for a pitcher to replace Cole. And, you know, or if not, maybe move Vigna to left field. I suppose he could try and play there. He's not very fast. I don't know how he would play out in left, but, you know, his fielding rating is 86. But we could move Polanco to right. So, I don't know. There are options, kind of depending on the offers we would get for just Dozier. Because I'd like to keep Vigna. I mean, Vigna's first-round pick I made. I like to keep guys like that. Turner is like a no-brainer fit, though. So let's just simulate forward, see what happens. Carpenter signs with Cleveland. That's a nice signing for them. Carpenter wouldn't have been a bad option over Thames, but I like Thames' power. We kind of need that. The Royals make a big offer to Altuve and sign him. So Altuve off the board. Cole looks like he's a better offer. Wow. And Marte leaning towards signing elsewhere, too. So we definitely want to up the offer to Marte. Let's go to $75 million. And he still doesn't really want to sign with us. Wow. I'm going to be pretty disappointed if he goes to San Francisco, to be honest. We have to get the Cole back. Let's do 6 years and 170 million, maybe. That's still like way down from what he wants. Cleveland is offering 6. We'd have to go like 6 at 180. What is like 29 a year? 6 at 174. So we're getting close to 30 million a year for Cole. But we have the money to do it. That's the thing. And the money is always movable. I'm not... man. Cleveland's really going to offer less money and get him, though. That's going to stink if that happens. We could get some Marges. Marges been very good to fill in. You know, he's not looking for anything. So, I guess we keep going, see what shakes out. Marte accepts the Pirates offer. That is a good sign. Now, let's go back to Cole. So now I see the Samardzija thing. So now that we get Marte back, now it's not as urgent to me that we bring Cole back. So I look at the pitching situation. And we have Turner. We're theoretically trading Dozier for some sort of starter. And we could sign Samardzija. And then have, you know, Tanaka, DeGrom, Liriano / whoever we trade for. Or Samardzija in game 3, you know, Liriano. And, you know, we can try and trade Dozier for a young starter, potentially. Because that's really what we kind of need, along with Liriano as another young guy to come up. You know, hopefully Keller can sort of be that guy, but he's kind of progressing slow. 24 years old. Maybe he gets a chance this year. So I'm going to lower my offer to Cole then. Maybe go back to 27 million for 6 years. 6 at 162. And that's less than San Fran, so now San Fran wants him as well. That's kind of considered, that's not really in the ballpark. Maybe we go 6 for 170 for him, since that appears to be his market. And that leaves us still with a considerable amount of cash. I do like the Samardzija play. It's just like the baseball like dork in me just wants to go for the Samardzija play because it's so much more savvy than just paying Cole like 28 million. Even though Cole, just because we have the money to do it, and considering the age of Cole versus Samardzija is probably so much more worth it to just re-sign Cole and bring him back. I'd probably be so much better for it. But like, I feel like it's so much more savvy to just snag Samardzija for 7 million, considering his ERA and his WHIP the last 2 years, the last 3 years really. He's been, like, really, really good. Look at that WAR. That's so solid. And the walk per 9, always low. Same with the home runs. The FIP, not as great the last 2 years. But the BABIP has been low. Like, he's been able to keep the, can I see what his BABIP, the opponent's BABIP is? Not really. But the Ks were down this year. That's not great when the Ks are below 7. Well, we could even bring him in still as, like, the 5th starter. I'm just going to make a competitive offer to Cole. Let's do 20, what is 28 for 6? 168. So 171 would be 28.5 million. So I say we do that. That's a pretty competitive offer, I think. Take a little bit less money to re-sign with the world champs. And we will see what he does. He is not interested in the offer. He's got, oh wow, he's got even bigger offers now. Let's do 29, I guess, for 6 years. That's 174. That still feels like it's a little bit below. Maybe we could do 5 years with a player option for that last year. Here we go. I guess it would be 6 years because that 60 would be the player option. So that's a little bit more competitive. And we'll see what he does. Turner accepts our offer. Excellent news. And Cole accepts the Indians' offer, so he does not re-sign. Alrighty, so Garrett Cole leaves in free agency after winning the World Series with us. We have DeGrom for the next 4 years now at a pretty reasonable price, and we have Tanaka for 1 more year at 23.6 million, plus Liriano. Now we're definitely going to try and sign Samardzija, because he's only looking for 7.5. I'll do just a 1-year deal with him. And Tehran is also a free agent, 4.70 ERA for Atlanta last year. Looking for more money than Samardzija though, and much longer term. If you look at the rest of the pitcher market, we probably still trade Dozier, so you know we can. If we sign Samardzija and we trade Dozier for another starter, we should be good for our rotation. The bullpen, there isn't really a great bullpen piece out there on the free agent market this year, so right now I'm just scanning for minor league free agents, some guys who have high overalls, usually just looking at it by age, guys who stand out, but pretty much any of these guys I will sign. I cleared enough spots by not retaining some of my minor league free agents so that I could sign these kind of guys. This guy's really fast, so why not? Like, at the very least, could potentially be a pinch runner. This guy, Robert Woodson. Ooh, I like him. 6'4", 74 overall. Look at those ratings. Definitely seems like he could be backup guy who could mash. That's what I like to call this spot, the backup first baseman, the backup guy who can mash. And I thought about, maybe Danny Valencia, but he seems like he wants a little bit more playing time than what we can offer him. So Robert Woodson might make a little bit more sense. Here's another one, Wendell Suggs. 71 overall. And alright, so let's skip forward a few more days. So we get most of these guys to sign. This is the day we have to add guys to the 40-man so that they won't be eligible for the Rule 5, but it seems like the guys are never eligible for the Rule 5 in this game. Keller isn't. I know Hendrick won't be. It's based on like how long they've been in the organization for. I think maybe Elias Diaz might be. Nope, even he's not. So, yeah, literally like no point. I'm sure there will be no one good available in the Rule 5 draft. So Marte takes our offer. We do get Tom McCallum. Julio Teheran signs with the Giants. So that is how they replace Samardzija. And there's Ryan Braun still available. I guess he could theoretically sub in at right field. And he was nice last year. But, you know, we have Meadows and we have Miguel Torres, so it doesn't really seem necessary. What we really need to do right now is explore the trade market for Dozier. And if we don't like, you know, what Dozier could offer, we could throw in a guy like Miguel Torres. Because he is a little bit redundant having him and Austin Meadows. So the only thing about the trade market this time of year is that not every guy is signed. So sometimes it's difficult to make trades like a guy like Salazar is not signed right now, so he can't be traded. Which is a little dumb in this game. I don't like how they do that. Guys, like, they won't sign till the end of the year, so they can't be traded till the end of the offseason. But, you know, we had some interesting offers like Jordan Zimmerman. He makes a lot of money, but one of the more interesting ones was Alex Cobb, 87 overall. He's been solid the last few years, and he only makes like $8 million for this year and next year. See, the WAR is not great. The peripherals aren't spectacular, though. So, kind of feel like we could do better. So, looking at the best offers for Dozier, there are pretty much two like big-name guys we could get. Dallas Keuchel and Johnny Cueto are the two guys. Oh, not Cueto, actually. I thought about Cueto, but Cueto doesn't really make sense for San Francisco because they would just need more pitching. The thing about Houston and Tampa Bay, the other team with Cobb still, I think I would do that deal. Maybe I could get like a reliever out of them too. Possibly Colome, or even this Barrett Boyce would be nice. I'm sure I could throw in something for him. Or I could just get Justin Grimm, but I'd rather get that young guy. So the thing about these teams, I mean, Tampa Bay probably could use an infielder. I guess they have Miller and Holt, but Dozier definitely an upgrade over what they have. And especially for Houston, because Houston obviously just lost Altuve. You can see Houston has Lexi Amarista. Pretty much nothing after Bregman and Correa. Yeah, Tyler White. Maybe they could play White at third base and Bregman at second, I guess, theoretically. But that's not even a secondary position for him. So it kind of makes sense they traded Keuchel. The thing about Keuchel, though, is his contract is really good. So in that sense, it doesn't make a ton of sense, but he's 32 years old. They have Rodon, McCullers, Francis Martes, Tom Chung, and Joe Musgrove. Maybe they would trade Chung for him? He's not signed, though, of course. But Chung would be pretty nice. He had a 5.11 ERA. It's not great. Marte is also not signed, of course, so, you know, can't make a deal for him. Gotta love that. But, you know, Keuchel definitely the win now play, and he doesn't make anything. That seems like kind of a no-brainer. You have to throw in. I would throw in a guy like Colin Lopez, a little sweetener. He could probably even do less, but I might just throw him in anyway, because I do feel like we're getting the better end of this trade since Keuchel is the better player, it appears. But certainly could argue yeah, Adam Frazier. I'll throw in Colin Lopez over Adam Frazier. So a couple second basemen for Dallas Keuchel, and I'd love to make a play for one of their relievers, but it seems like neither are available. So, alright, this will be the deal. We get Keuchel to replace Garrett Cole. So looking at our team now, we have Tanaka, DeGrom, Keuchel, Samardzija, Liriano, and our rotation. Definitely got to be one of the better rotations in the league. Of course, we do have 3 or 4 guys who are over 30 years old, so something to watch. But we have Liriano, and then we have a couple young guys for depth, Hinson and Keller. I feel pretty good about Suggs, perhaps, as well. And maybe we look to sign some more starting pitching depth, but we definitely need more relievers. I didn't realize we were this bare in the bullpen. But the rest of the roster, I think pretty much, forget that, we got to sign that Robert Woodson guy, ideally. Nice voice crack right there. Vina, Turner, Wilson, and Crawford on the infield with Hendrick as depth. Connor Gillespie, perhaps, if we bring him back. And the outfield, Polanco, Marte, Meadows, and Torres. Not really room for I would say, you know, ideally maybe a right-handed first baseman backup, because we have Torres as a backup. We do have Wilson who's right-handed. Our catcher Stevenson is also right-handed, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Robert Woodson either way is the guy we really want. Give him 80. He bats lefty. Well, there just really aren't that many good right-handed bats available. The guy I'm going to keep my eye on is Ryan Braun, because he still doesn't have any contract offers, and his hitting ratings are still really good. And, I mean, honestly, right now I should be signing him because he's only looking for like $6 million a year, but I just still really have no spot to play him, and I want to play Meadows, but if he doesn't get signed, I might have to make a play for him. So we have the Rule 5 draft. Let's see. Okay, apparently there was no one even available for the Rule 5 draft this year. That is hilarious. Trevor Story traded to Arizona for, wow, 21-year-old 84 overall shortstop the Rockies acquired. I want to take a look at this guy. Who did they just snag from Arizona? Sure, Story's good, but Steven Esposito. I remember when this guy was in the draft. Look at his power versus lefties. This guy's an absolute stud. Oh, yeah. Wow. He cost them Trevor Story. 89 overall. Story's pretty good. Yeah, he slugs it. 3.7 wins. I think I'd rather have Esposito, though, just because he's 21 years old. Story has 2 years left of team control. Esposito has, what, 6 probably? Oh, no, he's played a couple full seasons already. He was, I think, like a first-round pick the year I got Diego Vina. But, oh, anywhere's the stirrups. Well, how about this trade, huh? What if we did Crawford for Esposito? I would love to get this guy. He seems like he's just an absolute beast. And it would cost us Crawford. I mean, Crawford, he was, you know, he had an MVP caliber season the first year with us, and then last year, definitely a step back, but still very good. 4 wins. And he's 33. He's got 2 years left on his contract. I don't know. It feels, I mean, feels kind of weird. Like, I'm sort of just having fun with it at this point. You know, now that we've already won the World Series, I'm sort of just simulating. I'm kind of just winging it, not really caring too much about the realism. But I definitely, I mean, how fun would it be to have this Esposito kid next to Vina on the infield? Wouldn't that be so cool? I think that would be so much fun. So I kind of want to do that. So what's it take to throw in maybe just this Carlton Red guy? I just signed him, though. Make it a little bit more realistic. We'll give up. Thought I had Nick Kingham. Maybe I don't. We'll give up Vernon Polario, maybe. Sure, why not? Actually, let's give up outfield depth, if anything, because I just traded Colin Lopez. So how about someone who's actually half decent? This guy, Buster Handy. So this effectively becomes like a 3-way trade. We sort of do a shortstop shuffle in the NL here. And maybe we could also try and get Jake McGee, or I don't really have any other. I guess Ramos. Ramos's walks concern me, though. McGee, another lefty, would be perfect to replace Perkins. So maybe Handy and let's look at our starters. Possibly Sal Savage. All right, we'll part with Sal Savage to do this deal. So, all right, we're gonna trade for Steven Esposito. I know that, you know, not the most realistic thing in the world to do, but I think you guys can understand. I'm just having fun with it at this point. Esposito, he's got the stirrups and the big power against lefties, so he's gonna be fun to use. Plus, we need, you know, we have some more righties in the lineup, and it's gonna balance out pretty well because we have Meadows, Polanco, Thames still. But, you know, Justin Turner, he has that high contact versus righties, so I'm not really too worried about having 6 righties and 3 lefties in the lineup. Probably hit Turner. Maybe I just go Marte, Turner, 1-2 in the lineup. And let's see, Braun did get snagged, so that's good. We still have, you know, lots of money left over, but the roster's pretty much set. Let's just look at getting potential depth now. Let's go to manage contracts. Probably go further down. There's still some, like this guy, Steve Wadley. Oh, whoops. Don't want to give him that much of an offer, but how about 800,000? Alec Mills, maybe we give like 520,000. And then catching depth, I'd like to get a left-handed catcher who could possibly come up. But there aren't really that many. I guess Carlos Corbin, he has good power versus righties. 1.6 million. Lobatone. These aren't really guys I can stash in AAA, though, unfortunately. Sign this Luke Molina guy. He has good speed, at least. Connor Gillespie. I'll bring him back. 520,000. I guess there are maybe other options to trade, although, nah, not really. Alright, so Molina takes our deal, as do the other guys we gave offers to, and we will finish off the off-season. Let's just look at, alright, so all of our, we don't have any unsigned guys left. Sim through the date. On to spring training we go. Let's just sim right through. And hope that no one gets hurt. Do auto lineups for now. And we are playing pretty well in spring training. Not that that really is necessarily an indicator of anything, but 21-10. Pretty solid, I would say. So, on to the regular season we go. Opening day, Miami. So, maybe I probably won't play regular season games. Maybe I'll play playoff games. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do playoffs if and when that comes there, but next episode will probably be, you know, a good amount of simulation maybe from the draft to the trade deadline, much like the format of my OOTP videos. But we'll take one more look. We'll do the lineups and rotation first. So, DeGrom, Tanaka, Keuchel, Samardzija, Liriano, that is going to be the rotation. Keuchel's down to an 86. Interesting. So maybe that's why Houston was fine getting rid of him. He had been okay last few years. Nothing spectacular, but I have high hopes. 349 FIP last year and 327 in 2017. So we'll see what he does for us. Let's look at the rotation too. We probably I probably need to make a trade for a reliever, because I don't really, certainly will at some point. Maybe not right away. Hinson can pitch in the bullpen. We have Watley, and it kind of seems like we use, I mean, we have Osuna still. Hopefully Osuna continues to get better, but with Watson declining, it seems like we could, you know, potentially make another move for a sort of a frontline reliever, so to say. Someone who can maybe even be the ace of the bullpen, or at least the guy next to Osuna. Lineup wise, so let's see. Actually, the way they're doing it, I think, looks pretty solid. Turner, then Sanchez, Thames, Esposito, Meadows, Vina, Torres. With these guys on the bench, I guess that's pretty much how I can't really complain about that. We've had Marte, Polanco 1-2 last few years, so why mess with that? And, you know, Torres on the bench with no DH against lefties. Esposito moved up, Sanchez, Thames down, Torres down. I'm fine with all that. Same thing with no DH, Thames and Torres go down. Alright, so I'm cool with those lineups. Let's see, scouts. We need to hire more scouts, I guess. I didn't see what scouts. We have 2 international in the West. We need an East guy. Let's do this. And maybe this is another guy's pitchers. Is there a central? Could we get a central guy? This guy, perhaps? Yeah. Or we have Eric Keller. Let's see Eric Keller. Or he does East. We just hired him. We have a 95 positional player guy. I want to fire... Yeah, I want to fire Mario Brandon. And hire George Deal, and then fire this guy and maybe get Castillo. Yeah, fire Gutierrez. Alright, cool. So those will be our scouts. Hopefully I get good scouting this year, because I haven't had great scouting the last few years. Transactions, don't really care. Awards, I forgot to show the awards in the last episode. Good thing came through. Polanco was playoff MVP. Oliver Wilson was World Series MVP. And these are the awards from last year, I guess. Just the regular season awards. But there you have it. People were asking about that in the comments, and I promised them I would show it in this video. Almost forgot, but caught it at the last moment. So there you have it. That is going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Thanks for watching, and Zos, I'm out. Peace.